during my night last night. Apparently all the snow, it got so warm out here. It's got to be like 35, 45 degrees out here. The temperature in Connecticut changes are... Shh. I hear something. Do you hear that, folks? I think it's up this way. Oh, yes. Yes. Yes! A water source. Look at it. Frozen, but absolutely an unbelievable amount of infiniteness of water. I am very thirsty. Have to be careful as not to get any pathogen. There was a boy out in the woods in Connecticut here, in this area at least, and he drank some of the water and got an amoeba in his ear. I don't know how he managed that, but he got an amoeba in his ear. And he became deathly ill. And they had to rush him to emergency, but he didn't make it. So I'm going to gather some of this water, and I'm going to try and see if I can set up a camp, get a fire going in this dampness, and boil some of this water. All right? I'll catch you out there. I'm tilting the camera downwards, giving me a excellent shot of the waterfall. I have taken off my ghillie suit. It's just too warm out here. And you know one of our golden rules, if you sweat, you die. So I'm going to take my empty water bottle, collect some water. Here I go. Here I go. I had a train in Wisconsin. In the waterfalls of Tillamook Falls, my balance techniques, they're pretty good. This is dangerous! I'm getting the water! Alright, I have the water collected, and I'm going to drink my fill now because it's easier to carry the water in my stomach than it is my backpack. But it is dangerous, so don't try this at home, okay? There you go. Alright, this water is the coldest water I've ever had to drink. It's going to lower my body temperature, so I'm probably going to have to put the ghillie suit back on. But, okay, I'm going to try and find a camp around here, see if I can get some water boiled. I've got to cross this mighty fjord. There's still some residual ice left over from the amount of cold we've had. The rocks are slippery, like that. Okay, alright. Alright, that was clumsy on my part. I don't think there's going to be any fish in these waters. Not right now. Maybe in the summer. Right now it's winter fall. Okay, these rocks are sturdy. And very slippery. Oh yeah. Alright. Made it across. Keep going. I'm going to keep going. Head in the direction towards that way. See what I can find. I had to put my ghillie suit back on. I started getting cold. I can't get cold out here. Just can't do it. Because there's not just some place I can go inside and warm up. Everybody has that in their mindset that, you know, I can just go inside if I get too cold, but there is no inside. There is no place to get warm. So I'm going to continue walking. I've lost the trail, unfortunately. I'm a little frustrated with myself because I don't know entirely which direction to go. But based on my training and my meditation sequences, my thought process is at least clear. I'm going to head in a northeasterly direction and stick to my guns. I'm off the path, but I'm still going northeast. You can tell not by the moss growing on the north end of the tree only, but by where the sun is. Sun sets in the west, as we know. So I'm going north, westerly direction. All right, here I go. This is dangerous. There. You know, I am getting very tired of setting the camera up and then coming across and redoing everything. I know it's good for television, but being all by myself is rough stuff. Still heading in a northeasterly direction, and I'm running out of food. I'm getting very hungry, but I don't have much left. I only have a bit of the mung face jerky that I made. You know, I'm always asked, SurvivorBoy, how do you make jerky? Well, it's a long process, but I figured out how to make it in about 4 hours. And maybe I'll make a short documentary on how to do it another time. But for now, I'm following this path that I found that does go in a northeasterly direction, which is very good. I'm going to head through these woods. It looks like up ahead here, there's a large sort of gully. Oh, man. I just crossed that river. Now I'm heading in a northeasterly direction, and I am just... What is that? Folks, this is quite a find. This area is a gravesite. I don't mean to be so melancholy or anything of that nature, but this is a gravesite. Now, a little bit of a historical education. Back in the western parts of the country, they used to bury a body like this and then put the owner's hat on a pike. Essentially, it's insult to injury, if you will. They were letting the person know that they've been killed by letting their families know how ridiculous their hat is, insulting them. Their families would come across this and say, that is so-and-so's hat. They must have been killed. I'm sorry you had to see this, folks, but it's a dose of reality here in the Connecticut wilderness. Folks, I shouldn't really have crossed that ravine because I really don't have much, in the way of food, but I've crossed the ravine, and now I'm going to head back and see if I can go that way in a northeasterly direction. This thing friggin' come off! Sorry, just... I need to find somewhere to rest. I've been walking all day, most of last night. I need to find a place to rest. So, this is an excellent spot to set up a camp. Look at this phenomenal amounts of Greg moss and Kate moss, and that was a joke, wilderness joke, sorry about that. So I'm going to set up some Greg moss on top of the Greg moss here. Give me nice cushioning, and it's also an excellent insulator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this way, and I'm going to set up my camera here. Put down my stuff. Put it on this tripod here. Okay, good. And now I'm going to remove the tent. Got to clear out the area. I don't want these jamming into my back all night. It's therapeutic, but I'm not in the woods for therapy. Oh, look at this. There's quite a bit of deer scat. That means deer come over here and nibble on the moss. And okay, this is pretty clear. It's nice and soft. I'm going to get the materials now. Set up the tent. I'm just so happy I found this place. Okay, let me remove the tent. This is the waterproofing for the tent. Just gonna kneel on it for now so I don't get my clothes wet. Here are the riggings. I believe that's all the accoutrement I need for the tent. So, essentially we have the tent here. This is the bottom of the tent. This is the top. So what I do is, here we go. I run the posts through these right here. And I get this tent all set up. But first what I'm going to do is these right here. These need to be tied to the floor. So that's what I'm going to do first. I don't need this part at the moment. I'll set it up before I go to sleep though, just to make sure if the weather does become inclement that I can be waterproof. So I'm going to put the poles in first, and then I'm going to put the actual post in the tent to keep it down. Put those over there for now. I think the best place to set up this tent is right here. So I'm going to take these posts and I'm going to put them into the tent itself. Alright, so setting up the tent is proving to be a difficult task, but one that I think I'm up for. So, essentially what I have at the bottom here is I have this loop, and it goes into the bottom of the actual post to keep it in place. Then I go up the sides of the tent, and I clip them into place. So here. Okay. And along. Here. Alright. Okay. Just make sure I got the right ones. Good. Alright, we're looking good, folks. Alright, good. Good. So, I was training in North Dakota. I trained with 37 varieties of tents just to make sure I would be ready for this type of situation. The end, it goes into the bottom of this loop right here. And during my training, I used only newer types of tents. This tent is so old, so archaic technology that it's difficult to figure out. But fortunately for me, it's relatively a lot like a lot of the other tents I have worked with. So, you know, it seems pretty feasible that I can get this done. So now I'm going to foot the tent first. Much more efficient way of doing this based on the other side, and then clip these. Excellent. Now, I have a phenomenal sleeping quarters. I'm going to stamp down the foots, you know, to brace it down to keep me from the wind. If the wind picks up during the night, it comes up this hill, it will actually hit the side of this tent and roll me in the tent down the hill. That'll be quite painful. So, okay, so I've got the tent set up. I've got the awning set up. I'm going to take myself a quick nap, 2 or 3 hours, maybe 6, and try and get warm in here, woods of Connecticut. I got the tent apart. I didn't bother recording any of that, but this spot was really comfortable and it kept me really warm the whole night. I slept through at least 6 to 7 hours, so it's probably, the sun is coming up. It's early morning, And I have to get across this ravine. I feel much better now that I've got some sleep, but sleep doesn't mean I have a full stomach. All right, I got to get across this. So I've come to the bottom of this ravine. There's quite a river and marsh. The funny thing is I don't feel this is a marsh because this is right here. This is pineapple moss. Pineapple moss has these large tops, and the best thing about pineapple moss is nothing like climbing these cliffs. My walking stick broke as I was crossing the river, and my boots fell in, but they're waterproof. Oh, excellent, folks! Look, another way to get fresh water. This Greg moss right here filters out water when it comes in contact with pineapple moss, and it filters the water. This is some of the cleanest drinking water in all of the world. So I'm going to take some time and maybe about 45 minutes to let my bottle regather water.
After walking in one direction for many hours, the sleep I had gained had earned me nothing, and I was still hungry. I needed to find food.
Here we are. I've made it up the hill, and out there in the distance you can see buildings, gaggle of geese, and the reservoir, the Kensington Reservoir, up on the cliffside in Connecticut. I have walked. This means I have walked from Newington, Connecticut to Kensington, Connecticut. Quite a distance, but I've made it. Here I am.
Next time on SurvivorBoy.
I am armed. Is there anybody in there? I'm coming in.
Yeah.